Hi guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about something very interesting. It's your girl Peace. Stay tuned. So, guys, I was thinking, I was like, when you come to that situation and you're like, I cannot read, this thing is not entering, you know? When you want to read for like tests or exams and you're like, oh my god, this book does not want to enter. So this video is going to be all about assimilation and studying. First things first. First things first. The best way for studying or the best way for assimilating what you are reading is different for everybody. You can be similar, but it is different. This is because everybody is unique. The way I understand something cannot be the way I understand something will not be the exact same way you understand it. When I think of when I think of government, the first thing that you might be thinking about is the politicians. What me I'm thinking of is the civil servants. You see that we have there's difference. We have already you can see that there is um you can see that there is a very different way that we are going to see things. We are different like that. Human beings are unique like that. So obviously the way that we are going to assimilate, the way that we are going to study effectively is going to be different. Some people can study a night to the exam and they will still do very, very, very well in the exam. Some are slow readers, some are visual readers, some are auditory learners. We have different people, we have different ways that you assimilate. For me, the way I assimilate the best is I can read at any time of the day, anytime, especially when I feel like reading. Whatever I'm reading, I understand completely. I can read at any time of the day. I can read at night. I can read in the morning. Can read in the afternoon. Although in the morning, I'm not a morning person, but if I determine to read in the morning, I will obviously make sure that I read and understand in the morning. So my own reading pattern is mainly determination. My reading, so my own, so what bases my own studying or what bases my assimilation is determination. If I put my heart into reading, if I put my heart into I want to learn this thing, I will surely make sure that I learn it at any time of the day. I have found out, I have discovered that I am a reader's learner. If you don't know what that means, that means that although I can learn, that means that I like reading on my own, just downloading the contents of the books into my mind and retaliating and just recreating it into my own understanding of what I'm studying, into my own understanding. I'm not much of a auditory learner, like those that go on YouTube or listen to podcasts about what they're studying about. I'm not much of that. I don't like I'm not an auditory listener. I'm also not a visual listener because I'm also not a visual reader, because I'm a person that can visualize what I'm reading in my head. If you say, if I read that a boy is sitting in a park, my head have automatically visualized how it is. In fact, I am automatically in that moment. I'm automatically in that scenario. So I'm not much of a visualist now. I'm more of a, I'm more of reading, like normal, actual, line by line reading. So let's lay that groundwork. So when we come to the question of the best way of assimilating, the best method of understanding, it's inherently and it's inevitably will come from you. It is going to be something that you like. The best method for you might not be the, let me put it this way, the best method for you might not be the best method for me. Let me tell you a story. When I was in my 100 level in university, the first semester I was introduced to night classes. I was introduced to night readings, and we created a group that will go that and we created a group that all of us in the group will come to read for night classes. I did that for a few weeks, and I found out that I'm not much of a group reader. And I did that for a few weeks, and I knew and I understood that this night reading is not comfortable for me. I prefer staying in my room and reading than walking from my hostel to the school area, to the class area, and reading in the class. I just found that stressful for me, especially if what especially if the especially if it warrants me going to the class area and just me sitting down and reading on my own. I'm like, I can do this at home, and then I don't see the need for me to go to night class. And I stopped night class. I started reading at home. I started reading it in my hostel, and I could see improvements. I started I started reading my home. I started reading my hostel, and I could assimilate better. I could understand better. And I just gave up on night classes. Except, of course, my friends are there, and I know that they are going to explain to me once I reach there. I'm going to hear research that I've not researched once I am there. Then I will go to night class. But the best advice for anyone that wants to read is that you should find the best way you assimilate. Understand if you are a day reader. Understand if you are a night reader. Understand if it is when your energy is the most that you can read. Understand if you have to cut your reading time, like say 30 minutes, and you need a break. Like 20 minutes, 1 hour. Like after 1 hour, you definitely need a break. After 2 hours, you need a break. After 30 minutes, you need a break. For me, when push comes to shove, I can read for as long as 5 hours straight. I also did not know that I could read for 5 hours straight until time came, and at that time And at the point of time, I had not opened the coursework. In fact, I did not actually, I could not recall the exact course outline, and I knew that I had to go marathon reading on this particular work, on this particular course, and I read for 5 hours straight. I did not sleep, and this 5 hours was from like in the afternoon, or like in the evening, to like in the middle of the night. I slept around 2 a.m. and I woke up for the exam at, I think, 8 a.m. So I would say the best thing is to understand how you assimilate, understand how you understand things, you know. And if you don't know, most people will say, I've heard, during the time that I was actively searching for how I assimilated best. Once I ask people that question, that for me, that I don't know how I assimilate, I don't know if I'm a day reader, I don't know if I'm a night reader. I shall know that any time of the day that I want to read, I will read. And they were like, no, now you have to know that you have to know the time, that you have to know how you best assimilate. I'm like, me, I don't know. They say no, you have to know. And the end of all that was that I found out that I'm not a normal person. Yes, most people only read in the day, that they don't even try night reading at all. They just read the day. If it's morning or afternoon, they'll start reading. But once it's night, they close off. Some people, they cannot open book in the morning or in the afternoon. Once it is night, that everybody is sleeping and everywhere is pin drop silent, that is when they know, that is when they can assimilate best. Now, I should say that when choosing the best method for assimilating for yourself, you should consider the environment. Do you like silence? Do you like loud? Do you like pin drop silence, that if a pin drops to the floor, you would be able to hear it? Consider your environment, number one. Number two is to consider the time. As I said throughout this video, some people are day readers, some people are night readers, some people are afternoon readers. Find out the time that you are most comfortable assimilating or reading. And not that you will read, you will also understand what you have read. Consider the environment, consider the time, consider if you are a visual, if you are an auditory, if you like talking in a group, if you like if you like exchanging thoughts, exchanging comments about that particular work, if that's how you assimilate, consider that. Those are the 3 points. Those are the 3 major way that I think that major things to consider when you want to find out how you assimilate. So I think we are timed out, and with this we have come to the end of this video. If you have any suggestions, if you have questions, comment down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to reply your questions. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on the notifications so you do not miss any video dropped. And do not forget to share and like this video. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.